like I have seen your video, and you are taking some classes from Clappingo, and yeah,
Exactly.
Clappingo maybe, Clappingo.
Yes, clapping. Exactly.
So how is that? That one is like good for like us.
Actually, I can say yes, but they ask a lot of money for that. If you want to take subscription, then per session for 15 minutes you have to spend 250, 300 rupees for per session, which is so costly, I would say. And but I personally think if you want to learn this language, then you don't need to go and join that platform. If you can afford, then this is good, because there are a lot of teacher or tutor who are available, who are very friendly. They are encourage you to speak no matter how many mistake you make, but you will get only 50 minutes per second, which is I personally think not sufficient for all of us, for learner. If we are beginner or if we have just started this language, if someone who is intermediate or have achieved a certain level and they just make some minor mistake, for them it is good platform, I would say, because they will able to correct their mistake. They will able to find someone who will correct their mistake. But if we are making so many mistakes, then this is not good platform, because in 15 minutes we just can't speak or we can't express our entire thought. It is just impossible for us to talk to them. But if you want to gain confidence, or you feel something shy or embarrassing while having conversation in English with someone, then this is good platform. But I am just a student, so I am not making any money or earning any money right now. So I just take one session in a week, and I know that one session is not sufficient for me. For that, I practice for my one, as I mentioned, or I try to connect with another learner who are interested to learn this language. So I just try to connect with them, have conversation with them. That's how I practice. It is, I don't think Clipingo has helped me a lot, because I am the person who used to feel shy or embarrassing. I just, didn't have any guts to speak in front of someone, or forget about in English actually. I just didn't have that much guts, but that platform just helped me. No matter how many mistakes I made while having conversation with anyone, I just feel more, more comfortable. I just feel it is okay if I make mistake. I just can work on this. So this is actually good platform for those students who don't have any guts to learn to speak English, because there are teacher are friendly. I just, as I mentioned, that they just encourage you to speak as much as you want, as much as you can. So
Yeah.
if you find someone like that, so it is easy for all of us. We can learn anything which we want, but it is too costly. I must tell you. I don't know for all of the students, but for me it is too much costly, or I can't afford lot of session. So I only take one session in a week, just to check myself where I need to work, and whether I am improving or not, or where I am making mistake or something like that.
Yeah, because buddy, now we are initial stage, so like we do many mistake. If we enroll in any like an institute like Clappingo, so at that time, like that Twitter will rectify. They will suggest you have to work on this part and that part. It is good because we are coming from village, and nobody can guide us, and nobody can tell. That's why, like, you are doing, I can say, magnificent. Yeah, I'm also thinking in these days, like, I have to enroll. Yeah.
Yes, if you are interested, then you should try it. At least you should try demo session if you are thinking it, but I personally think that if you think that if I join on clapping or speak with tutor or practice with them, then I can speak or I can learn this language, then that is not true. That is not sufficient. You have to practice it by your one. You have to practice it more and more. Teacher, they will just only guide you. They will just show you the way where you are making mistake, how can you work on it, what are some strategy or step which you need to follow, which you need to apply in your journey of learn how to speak English. So that is the basic thing which they will just tell you by giving you feedback. But if you literally want to learn, then you have to practice it more and more by your one. Whether you practice by your one, whether you practice with some of your friends, no matter however you practice, but you have to practice by your one. You have to do it every single day. That is the very, very important, I personally think.
So one more question is popping in my mind. So I can I ask you?
Yeah, definitely. No need to ask any permission. You can ask any question, you want.
So I want to know that, like, when had you realized this language is, like, very important for you?
Okay, so when I realized, actually, when I was in class 10th or 12th, although before that I had subject English, but I was studying or I used to study subject as a English just to pass the exam. I just didn't take it necessary or compulsory. Somehow I used to, utter few questions of answer or some chapters, and I used to pass the exam. But when I came in class 10 or 12, I had board exam or I wanted to score decent marks. And although I scored decent marks, after working so hard, I was satisfied with that. But only in English, I just could not score decent marks. So somehow I just passed the exam, but somehow or the other, I was feeling or something, I was just facing or I was just feeling like, I am just not good at it, or even if I skip it in future, I will have to learn it. I just, can't go away from this language because this is one of those language which is literally very, very important, or it is, useful for our day-to-day life. Even when you want to use your smartphone, if you want to know all the settings of your smartphone, then you have to read English, you have to know the English, then only you can set up all the settings which are available in your smartphone. Even when you are going to fill any form for anything or any uh, classes or any institute, you need to fill the form in English. So everywhere, if you see this is important or this is compulsory, it has become compulsory for all of us. So that slowly by slowly, steadily by steadily, I just realized that it is so important to learn this language, to know. So earlier I was only thinking about to just when someone says something in English, I should give them reply in English. And when I read book, I just don't have to face any difficulty in order to understand the chapter. My intention was that. But as I, as I started emerging more and more into this, I just, I started practice more and more. I just realized that now I need to speak it. I also need to learn this language because there are a lot of learner who all have been learning this language or they have achieved massive result in their goal, in massive result in their life after practicing it. Or even if I want to apply for any government job or any private job or any kind of job, I will have to give interview in English because most of them, they ask us to give interview in English. For that, we need to know this language. So that was my intention, and that is why I started learning this language. and now I am practicing it more and more every single day. That was my main intention.